Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. From the rugged political terrain of Sathanur in 1989 to the grand steps of the Vidhan Sauda in May 2026, Shivakumar, Congress's ultimate institutional enforcer, the man who stayed up through the darkest nights to rescue the party's fortunes nationwide, is finally getting the prize his heart has long yearned for. With Siddaramaiah's official resignation accepted by the governor, the political curtain has risen on the DKS era. But as the celebration gears turn, the reality of the crown is settling in. Shivakumar isn't just taking over a government, he is stepping into a political pressure cooker. He inherits a state with only 2 years left in its term. He faces a highly activated bureaucratic machinery, deep fiscal strain and a looming election grid. The master strategist has won the inner party war. Now can he actually govern a state that is running out of fiscal runway? Shivakumar's first and perhaps most critical trial will not be fought in the rural heartlands but on the gridlock streets of Bengaluru. For the past 3 years, he held the Bengaluru development portfolio as Deputy CM, and he knows exactly how severely the city's civic fabric has frayed. He knows about the potholes, the administrative failures of the BBMP, which is the Bengaluru Municipal Corporation, and the painful reality of tech capital moving to Hyderabad and Chennai. To stem this bleeding of corporate flame, political insiders suggest that Shivakumar is preparing an aggressive, hyper-focused 100-day goal sheet exclusively for the capital. The metropolitan focus is he needs immediate, highly visible wins, fixing the chronic pothole epidemic, cutting through the bureaucratic red tape, stalling the Bengaluru Development Authority, and signaling to global venture capital that the Kanakapura tiger is personally guaranteeing their investments. If he fails to revive Bengaluru within his first few months, the economic engine that funds the entire state's machinery will begin to stall. But fixing infrastructure requires capital, and capital is exactly what Karnataka is running short on. Because of the midterm leadership transition, Shivakumar will likely only get to present one full state budget before the state heads to the polls. Siddaramaiah, a 15-budget veteran, left behind an incredibly rigid fiscal landscape tightly bound to massive wealth distribution through the 5 guarantees. Shivakumar cannot roll those back. To do so would be political suicide before an election. Instead, he faces a monumental bureaucratic challenge. He has to squeeze efficiency out of an exhausted administration. He must find new avenues of state revenue, streamline welfare distribution to prevent leaks, and somehow free up thousands of crores for capital expenditure. The bureaucracy is already complaining of asset fatigue. Shivakumar will have to use every ounce of his corporate acumen and administrative muscle to force the state machinery to deliver both welfare and structural development with minimal fiscal room. Then there is also the shadow in the room. Shivakumar will have to govern with a powerful, hyper-watchful predecessor looking over his shoulder. Political infighting is practically guaranteed to flare up over the coming weeks, starting with the fierce succession tussle for Shivakumar's vacant KPCC president post. Furthermore, whispers of up to 4 new deputy CMs to balance the caste equations mean that Shivakumar's cabinet will be a minefield of competing ambitions. But if anyone knows how to survive an internal power struggle, it is DKS. He has long been the brains behind the Congress party's toughest electoral triumphs. His strategy for Karnataka moving towards the next general election and the assembly elections will likely shift away from Siddaramaiah's pure subnational populism towards an aggressive blend of high-octane development, corporate alignment, and fierce organizational discipline. The troubleshooter is finally the captain. The playbook is entirely his own, but the clock is ticking. That's it on this segment. Keep watching NewsX for more.